math at Del Mar, and just yesterday, I started my last trimester ever as a full-time educator. Tiny dance. I dearly love my 20-plus years in the Reed School District. And while I will not be teaching full-time next year, and technically don't have a personal stake in this fight, I stand here in support of my fellow union members. I'm speaking tonight because this issue matters, not just for our educators, but for the integrity of our district and the future of our schools. It's deeply concerning to see the exorbitant amount of money being funneled into reserves and far beyond what the state recommends, especially when the consideration of this decision has been met with clear and vocal opposition from our union at a time when we're working harder than ever, when inflation and the cost of living continue to rise. It's disheartening that we must continue once again to almost plead to be compensated fairly. Every couple of years we find ourselves in this same humiliating position, having to remind those sitting across from us at the bargaining table of our value, our dedication, and our contributions. Hopefully our work would speak for itself. It's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing. The gap between what we believe is fair and what the district deems fair is far too wide. I'm deeply thankful and truly blessed to have been an educator as my life's work, and certainly with that choice I never expected to become rich in a monetary sense, but I have been richly rewarded every single day with the respect of my students and their family and my colleagues, and that respect has always been more than enough. But in recent years, that feeling is kind of tainted for me and for many of my fellow colleagues, and instead of feeling valued, we feel at odds with those who should be our greatest supporters. Instead of being uplifted, we find ourselves in another exhausting battle just to be treated fairly. And what saddens me a lot is that many of my peers feel as strongly as I do, but they hesitate to speak publicly. Not out of apathy, but a little bit out of fear, quite frankly. Fear of blowback, of quiet retribution, of small but meaningful consequences for simply advocating for what we feel is right. And that shouldn't be an environment for those who dedicate their lives to shaping young minds. So I urge you to do the right thing and invest in the teachers now, not in unnecessary reserves. Show us that they are a priority and not an afterthought.